Surprisingly, 10 years ago in 2003, a little movie called The Room came out. And, Justin and I are going to talk about that. And,
Yeah, what up?
And yeah, I also have to say, the game Zelda, they've announced a new one, but it's not a fucking adventure game. It's some Dynasty Warriors game.
Yeah, what up? 'Cause this is my United States or whatever. And this is my United States or whatever.
Wow.
wow. Bow, 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 bow. Speaking of wow. Welcome to the Christmas-ish episode of Whatever with Donna Justice.
Yeah. Oh.
It's the last one before Christmas next Wednesday, so gotta live it up.
Gots to.
The spirits up. So,
up.
you've already gotten like pretty much all your Christmas presents, right? You bought them yourself.
For the most part, yes.
Yeah, you got all the next-gen consoles and everything. So, is there anything left that you want to get? Yeah, I didn't mean that.
Now I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
No. There's still some things I could get.
Double entendre.
What do you get for the man who has everything he wants?
I can think of a few things.
Yeah.
Because no man truly has everything he wants.
Yeah. So you're Don and I'm Justin and
I'm Don and he's
the
Justin.
Whatever show.
This is Whatever with Don and Alan.
Yeah, with Don and Alan. That was my goof last time. I've learned.
Fun. Yeah, it was funny as I was listening to it again. Yeah, my roommate listened to it like in its entirety and he thought it was pretty good. So we had.
I'm glad there's one
ringing
person out there
endorsement.
that listens.
Yeah, because I force him, but it's okay. Because if he doesn't listen, then he will be kicked out. That's not true.
Duct tape.
Yeah, that's actually not true. I'm not a
Duct
douchebag
tape.
like that. So
So the last episode we said we were going to talk about a movie.
we did say we were going to talk about a movie. So you want to get straight to the movie, straight to the talk about the
Maybe because probably nobody watched it, and I'll be honest, I've seen it before, but I did not watch it in its entirety. I kind of watched some various clips just to refresh my memory.
Oh, good for you. I sat through the entire thing today and made some clips so we can play it.
You did not.
You
did not.
I did. Let me make sure your audio's
Don?
not cutting out. Yes.
Don,
Yes.
you did not.
I did not. You're right. I'm sorry. I am a truth-telling liar. Wait, what? That doesn't make any sense. So it does. It makes a lot of sense actually. But what's funny to me is there's literally like no information on this guy at all. Tommy Wiseau is his name, and he's a man of non-American roots. I don't know where he's from, and that's the thing. Like a lot of people don't know where he's from. Actually, nobody knows where he's from except him, and he won't tell anyone. So, but from what I could find on Wikipedia, anyway, that's as far as I dug. But there's been a book written about him. A guy who's known him for like 15 years wrote a book, and he just says he's from like the Eastern Bloc of Europe, and he's possibly from Czechoslovakia, something like that. And he thinks he was born in the 50s, and Wikipedia says he was born in 1968 or 9. So like literally nothing about this guy's known. So it's kind of weird.
And he made a movie. That's what's crazy, and it's like
did.
horrible.
He apparently started his own clothing store in San Francisco in the 80s, and then he used the money that he made from the store because it did well. He used the money to fund this movie called The Room, and it kind of makes me think of that movie Manos: The Hands of Fate. You know that movie?
I've heard of it.
Anyway, the guy that did it was like a farmer, and he just did it on a dare. Like somebody dared him that he couldn't make a movie, so he just went out and made a movie, and it's the only thing he's ever done.
Hey,
it's
go
kind of
make
like
a movie.
Yeah, it's kind of what this guy did. Like he's just like, people are like, but you could make a movie. And he's like, oh, I'll make a movie. It'll be great, Lisa. So now it exists.
Lisa.
Yeah. It came out in '03. It's called The Room, and it's literally considered one of the worst movies ever made. It was critically
Yes, for good
panned,
reason.
rightfully so. Yes, and it since has gained sort of a cult following. Um, back in
Like literally, you have to be in a cult to enjoy
pretty
this.
much, yeah. Back in 2011, though, they actually had a live tour around the country and did screenings of the show similar to Rocky Horror Picture Show, and people will like dress as their favorite character and get up on stage and perform the role in front of the movie. And he would go around. He would travel from town to town and actually like sign autographs and take pictures and stuff like that with his fans. So he
It's
seems
like
like a
it's like at what point do you go from thinking like, oh, my movie's really liked because it's liked, to thinking my movie is shit, or at least
yeah,
people think it's shit, but it's so shitty they like it, and I'm gonna embrace that and
yeah.
just go with the shit factor.
I don't know. He had embraced it pretty well, I guess. So I don't know. He seems pretty down to earth for how he could be, I guess. The movie itself
Yeah.
is just nothing but the most self-absorbed fucking thing I've ever seen. He makes himself out.
You
He
did
he
not.
wrote, yeah. He wrote and directed and starred in it, and it's about him and how great he is, basically. How much of
Yeah,
an
basically, and
amazing
how
person
things went
he
to
is.
shit, but yeah.
Yeah, and
We
people
really
just
can't
do
describe
him
it words,
wrong.
really.
Not really. I think one of the best things from this movie is the soundtrack, which is amazing, fucking amazing. There's a lot of sex in it, which is kind of strange. And he has a really like rocky looking ass, which is kind of weird. And I didn't really need to see it, but he likes to show off. So, yeah. But at the very
Oh, hi,
first,
Mark.
at the very beginning of the movie, basically. Hold up a second. My mic fell off my thing. Anyway, at the very beginning of the movie, he likes his girlfriend so much that he shows her that much, and this plays during the scene, and this song is awesome. It's fantastic. You can actually buy the soundtrack on Amazon. I don't know how much it is. It's probably like $300.
Did they actually compose it for the movie?
I think so. It's so bad. It's really bad. It's like about on par with the rest of the movie, which is fantastic. And it they're like intercutting this with like pictures of him on top of his girlfriend, and of course it's like it's like softcore, so he's like banging her belly button, which is freaking awkward looking. Oh,
Yeah, with this music
weirdest.
especially.
Oh yeah, it's the weirdest. I mean, it's the weirdest scenes. And like his mannerisms and everything is just strange.
I half expected Gunther to come out going, "Ooh, you touch my tra la la."
Oh man, yeah, it's such a good song. I wanna buy the soundtrack to it. It's readily available on YouTube if anyone wants to go check it out, I guess. But I don't know why you'd want to. So anyway,
Can you imagine if this was an game? Every game soundtrack was just The Room.
Oh man, that would be amazing. He did a series for Machinima. It was called the Tommy Wiseau Show, and it was him like playing games and talking about them, like Mortal Kombat and stuff like that. I didn't actually see this show. I just read that on Wikipedia, but I thought it was interesting. I'll have to go check it out though. So anyway,
It was pretty bad.
Yeah, was it? That's surprising.
Yeah.
So anyway, the movie kicks off for anybody who didn't watch it. So for the general population, the movie is about him as a person and how great he is, and it's about a relationship between him and this girl named Lisa. He plays a guy named Johnny, and they live in San Francisco, and it's, I don't know, he has a friend, and Lisa doesn't love him, and she loves his friend, and his friend doesn't want to cheat on, or doesn't, her to cheat on him, whatever. So it's just a love triangle, and it's a terrible story. So anyway,
The cliche of all cliches.
Yeah, very, very cliched. So, but throughout the movie, like there's a ton of quotable, absolutely memorable things throughout the movie. I just clipped a few of them out. Like they're just okay, at the beginning of the movie, there's this kid Denny, and Denny is the weirdest. I don't know. I don't even know. Like he's just creeped me out. But oh man, where's that part? Yeah, anyway, there's a part where, like he's like sitting there watching them as they're about to do this sex scene that I just played. You know, the song from, oh god, this is so awkward. So anyway, this is Tommy Wiseau's reaction, like after this is like him talking to Lisa after he bangs her, and this is how he sweet talks her afterwards. He just
Did you like last night?
Yes, I did.
like what? Yeah, he does
Dude,
that
that
like,
stupid
well,
laugh.
yeah, and that's a recurring theme throughout the movie, the laugh. And the laugh is
Hey Don,
creepy and hilarious at the same time.
it's like, do you like the whatever podcast? Oh yeah.
I do. Yeah, no, and you'll notice the laugh. I focused on some of the clips where like he laughs awkwardly like that, and it's really fucking creepy, like a lot of times. So anyway, there was like later on, Denny's like sitting there like watching them, and he's like, I love watching you two. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, here I don't know if this is it.
Do you have something else to do?
I just like to watch you guys.
Oh, Denny boy.
Danny, two's great, but three's a crowd.
I get it. You guys want to be alone.
That's the idea.
That's the idea. But like go away, you fucking weird kid. And so they finally get rid of him, and they do that thing with the music I just played, and that was just. Did you like last night?
Did you like last night?
Yes, I did.
there, there are some weird.
I sound like a wheezing old man when I
man.
laugh really bad. So
That's great. You sound like Muttley. Muttley the duck. Yeah, there you go. But so there's this later on, I don't even remember the progression of the movie, but like basically he and Lisa are having trouble, and she doesn't want to marry him and all this stuff. And like there's so many random lines in this movie. Like one of them is one of the, I don't even know where this comes into play like in the movie. It's just so random. Listen to this.
At least you have friends. I didn't get any calls today. You're right. The computer business is too competitive.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like
She works in the computer business apparently. I didn't even have any yeah, whatever.
the thing is I don't know if you noticed, but watching the movie, it feels like almost the whole movie is overdubbed.
Yeah, it is. It is. You can easily tell.
Oh.
It's just like, and a lot of it like doesn't make any sense at all. Like this scene is completely dubbed, and it's terrible. It's absolutely horrible dubbing. This scene.
Hi.
He walks into a flower shop.
Yeah, can I have a dozen red roses, please?
Oh, hi, Johnny. I didn't know it was you.
Okay, first of all, he's just got sunglasses on. He's the most identifiable person I've ever seen in my life. Outside of like Michael Jackson, he looks exactly like Tommy Wiseau every fucking day with sunglasses. So, I didn't know it was you. Okay, and then he like,
Here you go.
That's me.
that's me. This is my favorite part when he like pets the dog and he like mentions the
How
dog.
much is it?
It'll be $18.
Here you go. Keep the change. Hi, doggy.
Hi, doggy.
You're my favorite customer.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Bye-bye.
What I love about this scene is it literally happens between him walking through the door
Yeah.
in about a span of 20 seconds. This is all said with almost no stops.
Yeah.
And he walks up to the front as it's all being said and walks out. And it's like conversations in the real world even work that way.
No, and yeah, it's really awkwardly timed. You can tell they didn't actually like speak to each other while they were doing it, and because they knew they would dub over it. And the funny thing is like he goes, "Here you go," like before she even tells him how much it is. Like,
Hi.
listen,
Can I help you?
Yeah, can I have a dozen red roses, please?
Oh, hi, Johnny. I didn't know it was you.
The fuck?
Here you go.
That's me. How much is it?
It'll be $18.
Here you go.
Here you go. Let's keep the change. Like what? You didn't even hear how much it was. Like, how much is it? Who gives a shit? I'll just keep it anyway. So
It's like he couldn't stand to have that sequence have any second of like no dialogue.
yeah, it was kind of weird. And this Denny kid kept popping up, and he's just like a creeper. I was just like, what the fuck? There's this scene where he's like talking to Lisa, and he just stops by, and he's like, hey, I just want to talk to Johnny. You know, he's not here.
Hey, Denny, how are you doing?
I'm fine. What's new?
Actually, I'm really busy. Do you want something to drink?
No thanks.
What?
I just want to talk to Johnny. You look beautiful today. Can I kiss you?
You are such a little brat.
Just kidding. I love you and Johnny.
Okay. Johnny's gonna be here any minute. You can wait if you want.
I gotta go. You'll tell him I stopped by.
Of course I will.
Yeah, I gotta go. I just
I
stopped by.
swear, if I talked to somebody like that when I was a younger kid, I'd probably got the shit smacked out of me.
Oh yeah. You look beautiful today. Can I kiss you? What the? What?
I'm
That's
just
not how it
kidding.
works. Yeah,
Can
I'm
I
pretty
put my
sure that's not
finger
how
in
it
your
works.
bum? Just kidding.
Can I rape you? No. Okay.
Gosh.
Yeah. There's so many great lines. This one was classic. I love just how like nonchalant the mom is in this movie with a line like this.
Everything goes wrong at once. Nobody wants to help me, and I'm dying.
You're not dying, Mom.
I got the results of the test back. I definitely have breast cancer.
What the fuck? Bombs are dropping. Oh, who gives a shit? She's just like, well, Mom, I'm sure you'll be fine. I'm like, what the fuck? You just found out your mom has breast cancer.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
She doesn't care.
No, she doesn't care. And neither did I.
Damn it, Lisa.
Well, I think you know this scene. This was funny. So the roof scene. Everybody knows the roof scene. This is he and well, he gets drunk the night before because Lisa gets him drunk, and then Lisa tells people that he hit her, and this is how he reacts whenever he finds out that she was telling people that.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
Yeah, and he looks up and he sees Mark like sitting there, and he's so mad. He threw a water bottle. That's how mad he was. That's what that dump sound was that you heard. But he's up on the roof talking to Mark, and this is one of the things that Mark says, and this is what I was talking about. That laugh comes into play, and it's so not an appropriate time for that laugh. Here we go.
I used to know a girl. She had a dozen guys. One of them found out about it, beat her up so bad she ended up in a hospital on Guerrero Street.
No, you don't laugh at that. That's not funny. That's not something to laugh about. But he's like, he goes, ha ha ha, what a story. And I'm like, what? That's not a story. That's a tale of woe and depression. Oh, man. Yeah, it's pretty bad. But I got more. Like, there's this scene. Oh, I think everybody knows this scene.
You are lying. I never hit you. You are tearing me apart, Lisa.
Oh no, she's tearing him apart.
And the thing is like that scene's even funnier when you see his face. He's just he stands up and he just puts his fist up in the air and he scrunches his face.
He's so
You're tearing me
into it.
apart.
She's like, you're scaring me. Leave me alone. Like, just like walks away. Get out of my way. Oh yeah, this one was fun. Later on, he's complaining about Lisa to his friend, who's a psychologist, and this is what he says first to his friend.
It's Lisa we're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
But you're a psychologist. Do you have some advice?
Okay, so he asks him, do you have any advice? You're a psychologist. Literally, in the same conversation about 2 minutes later, this is his reaction after his friend says, tell me your problem, Tommy. Let me give you some advice.
I have my own problems.
Tell me about your problems, Johnny.
Peter, you always play psychologist with us.
Like, he just asked him to play psychologist, and then he got upset whenever he was actually doing it. Doesn't make Eddie's okay. Hard to please. I like. This next one, I'm gonna start addressing my friends like this, just in conversation. This is a good one.
Oh, pretty good. We got a new client at the bank. We'll make a lot of money.
What client?
I cannot tell you. It's confidential.
Oh, come on. Why not?
No, I can't. Anyway, how is your sex life?
What the fuck ask? Like, what kind of question is that to ask? How do you segue into that? So anyway, how's your sex life?
It's like, I do a lot of super secret stuff. I can't tell you, man. But how's your sex life?
I can't tell you about my sex life. You won't tell me about your bank clients. Like, what? That's not even nearly the same level. Like, okay.
I have this feeling too. Like when he was filming this, it was like people were trying to make suggestions, and he was just like, "No, this is my movie, and I cannot." You know,
I will not compromise.
I can't see how he didn't laugh when they were filming this.
On my vision. The other thing is, like, his acting is the worst, but like everyone else in the cast is right there. Like everyone's bad. Oh man, yeah. I like this one made me think of like Arrested Development. How like nobody knows what a fucking chicken sounds like.
Chicken, Peter. You just a little chicken. Chip, 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 chip,
chip. And then later on, he and Mark are finally like going at it because they're fighting over the girl. And then he says this to him. He says,
"Get out of my house! I kill you! I'll bring him in for everybody! Stop it! I kill you, you bastard!
You'll kill me if you tried.
You betrayed me. You're not good. You're just a chicken. Chip, 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 chip."
You're not good. You're just a chicken. Chip, 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 chip. Like, yeah, no shit.
Don't touch me, motherfucker. Get out.
I want to keep that one on my phone. Just like, oh man.
All right, sorry.
That's fine. If somebody comes near me,
I
look,
can't
if
even talk.
If somebody comes near me and I don't want them touching me, I just want it on my phone, readily available.
Don't touch me, motherfucker. Get out.
Oh, good times.
I can't. I don't think I can talk. I don't think it's safe for me to talk about the room anymore. For my physical health.
Oh man, good times. Yeah. So if you have a chance, check it out. It's a funny movie.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Oh yeah. I got another one. Hold on.
Thank you, honey. This is a beautiful party. You invited all my friends. Good thinking.
Like, no shit. That's what you're supposed to do with a party. I didn't know what else to do.
My stomach hurts. My stomach hurts.
Oh man. What is this one?
You know better, Daddy. You almost got killed.
I'm sorry. It won't happen again, I promise.
Oh yeah.
Jenny, you know that Johnny's like your father, and we're your friends. We're gonna help you.
Let's go home.
I remember there was one scene where like the dude comes up to him and starts telling him what happened in his apartment. He's like we were making out and like so I had to like run back in and I remember I forgot my underwear and like all this stuff and like, it was like the least climactic story of all time. And then Tommy Wiseau goes, "Oh well, that's life," and I was like, that's the worst ending to a story ever. And then like it transitions into like and what the fuck is with the football in this movie? You know what I'm talking about? Like they tossed a football like 3 feet away from each other, and I'm like, what the hell is up with this thing? It's like it's obsessed with this awkwardly throwing football. It's like just, man.
I'm still recovering.
I still like this one.
I used to know a girl. She had a dozen guys. One of them found out about it, beat her up so bad she ended up in a hospital on Guerrero Street.
It's not funny
It's not
at all.
It's funny in the movie the way it goes down, but it's
like how
not
he's
funny.
like,
If I was
he's just
listening, if
like,
one of my friends legitimately told me that,
oh, that's not...
I would not be laughing at that.
That's quite a story, Justin. Hilarious. No.
Don't touch me, motherfucker. Get out.
That's the best.
Yeah.
I love that one.
I
I'm telling
just
you, I'm
think
putting
that
that on my
the-
phone like
The
tomorrow.
cheap with the oh, that's just too much. Too
Chicken,
much.
Peter, you just a little chicken.
Oh gosh.
Anyway, yeah. So that's the room with Tommy Wiseau. It's really
Yeah.
depressing actually at the end of it.
Yeah.
If you stick around, did you get to the end of it?
Oh yeah, no, I know what happens. I've
Okay.
seen it all before. I just didn't
For-
watch it all again recently. But
I don't think anybody's gonna sit through it. He kills himself, just so you know. It's
yeah,
nothing really.
he gets
Yeah.
rid of himself. It's just
Right.
too much.
So it's really too much, Lisa. I will. That's the name of the song. It's called I Will. Laugh about your rape. I will laugh about you being slaughtered because you were a slut. So,
I got a headache.
good times.
Like the room, thank you, gave me a headache of laughter.
of laughter. I thought you were just saying it gave you a headache. That's not unusual after seeing that movie.
Yeah, I'm still recovering. I've gone back to primitive speech.
Apparently, he had a stint on Tim and Eric Awesome Show. Great job. I didn't see
Yes.
him on that. I'll have to see that.
I think I saw it. Yeah, I saw it. It wasn't a big thing, but yeah, I saw
No,
it.
it's just a little, like a single episode. I'll have to see.
Yeah.
I like that show, though. He seems to fit on that show pretty well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be a perfect
So-
show for him.
Kinda, yeah. Oh, well. What else did I see something about? Oh, right. The YouTube thing we talked about last week. Did you see the, thing that Kevin Smith said today?
No, I did not. I heard that he said something about it, but I did not get to see what he actually said.
Let me find it really quick. He basically just came out and like specifically defended the whole YouTube gaming thing. Like he thinks it's a terrible thing that it's what's going on with it and everything. And apparently he knows people that made a living off of it. So interestingly enough, I can't believe that guy has friends, but you know what I mean. I'm just kidding. I'm not a huge Kevin Smith fan, but
While you're looking for that, did you play Soda Drinker Pro?
no, I didn't get a chance.
You son of a bitch!
It's a pretty involved game. It's very.
It's about
like
it's the crowning achievement of
it's
gaming.
like a JRPG.
Indie game.
Yeah, I'll have to sit down and really get into it like I did Okami.
Yes. Except, did you really get into Okami?
The first third of it, which is about 40 hours into it.
It's a long game, yeah.
Yeah, I played about 37 hours of it, I think, and then I kind of just stopped.
I think it is one of those games. I think I got like halfway through, and I said, "What the fuck? This is only halfway."
Yeah, I know. I was like, this game has ended 14 times already. So, but no, what I played of Okami, I really, really liked, but at the same time, it was so long. Yeah. So here's the Kevin Smith thing. It's like a minute long. It's not long. It's from the George Stroumboulopoulos show.
What are your thoughts on Iranian governments are spying on World of Warcraft and spying on online video games?
It's crazy. Even more than that, I mean, look, that's bad. But I'm going to go to an issue that's even more close to my heart. On YouTube, they're starting to cull all these video game clips. And I know a lot of people who've built careers off of taking video game footage and running commentary under it or reviewing it and stuff. And so now YouTube's going like, you don't have the rights to do this. And they're starting to kind of pull back on the freedom of expressions people have been enjoying on YouTube for a while. But now you've got video game companies jumping into the fray on behalf of the kids, going like, let them run these clips. And if anybody tells you to take a clip down, tell us, and we'll tell them it's fine. They'll put it right back up. I mean, number one, it's probably good for business for them. But number two, they're also just like, let them have fun. These kids, they're not hurting anybody with clips of video games. So I'm more concerned about that. Like, don't stamp down someone's creativity, even if it's someone else's creativity with something else, other people's material, because you make found art out of art that you find. So I know they're watching us, but I assumed they were doing that for years. And it unnerves me a little bit, but at the same time, like, I put my entire life on Front Street, so the government can't know anything that I don't say in a podcast first. Like, what are they going to know? Like, he looks at weird porn. I tell people that all the time, you know, so I'm not too afraid. I got nothing to hide.
Okay, so that's his stance on it. Just a little quick clip there. I like how he talks about, you know, you don't want to stamp out creativity and silence people and all that stuff. And he blocked me on Twitter. So that kind of flies in the face.
Apparently, you weren't being very creative when it came to tweeting at him.
No, all I said was that his movies seem like they were written by a 13-year-old. And basically, I'm pretty sure they pretty much were written when he was younger. But he didn't find
I like
it
his
funny.
movies.
His movies are okay, I guess. I don't know. Like, I like Dogma and I don't know. I haven't seen many other movies of his. Jersey Girl was not good.
Well, I didn't see that one, but I like Zack and Miri Make a Porno.
Did he do that? Yeah, he did.
Yes.
You're right. I didn't see that either. Not a big Seth Rogen fan either. Even though apparently I sound like him. The fuck out of here. Yeah, so what was the other thing we were talking about today? Oh yeah, GameSpot choosing their game of the year and people going crazy about that.
Yeah.
What's the deal with that? I haven't seen people's reactions to it, but apparently
they're just freaking out. Like, oh, it's a handheld game. Oh, it's Zelda. Like that ever does anything new? Oh, you know,
it does.
I think the biggest thing.
Doesn't it do something new?
What?
Doesn't it actually do something new?
Well, yeah, it does change it up a little bit.
You can you can go to like any dungeon in any order, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like a non-linear in a way. It's kind of like you do it at your own pace, but that changes some of the fundamentals because now you have to get these items from a shop before you can go to a certain dungeon and kind of, I don't know, it definitely changes things up a little bit. And the paper thing is pretty neat too, where you kind of like go into the walls and you're like just, you know, sliding on the walls and stuff. But I think their biggest thing that people are upset with, from what I can tell, is they're just really upset because something like, you know, The Last of Us comes out and it's a very mature story. It's a very, I don't even want to say thematic, but it's just a very down to earth story that people relate to. I guess not that we live in the apocalypse or anything, but with the characters and it was a mature storyline, and people that their brain can't fathom how a game that, you know, supposedly critically helmed is one of the best mature, cinematic games out there could be dethroned for a game of the year spot from handheld game Zelda. And that's basically like a sequel to Link to the Past. But, you know, that's the thing. I don't understand people get so worked up. It's just a game of the year from a company. Who gives a shit? Who cares?
Yeah. It's an opinion. It's not even like an official award. I mean, it's like GameSpot are just one of however many hundreds of gaming outlets there. So it's not. Yeah, whatever.
I mean, truly, it goes back to my thought of, you know, why are the opinions of these companies so critically looked towards upon when people so critically shit on the opinions that they provide, you know, and then also when critically they're just people like us. The only reason anybody gives a shit is because they have a company backing them with money and they're in the limelight. I mean, that's just like anybody that makes it big. You know, Joe Schmo YouTuber becomes 50,000 deep. You know, people look at him and, Kangaroo Jack 5000 guy says that game sucks, and we listen to what he says. It's like, why? We love him, and he's popular, and yeah. Who cares?
5000.
Huh?
No, I said, or Justinator 5000. Are you
or
related
me.
to Andre 3000?
Yeah, no. But, I just think people put too much clout in people's opinion, and they don't, it's like I can have a discussion with somebody and they can say, I fucking hate this game, and I might love it. And I'm not going to be like, dude, seriously? Seriously? You
You know
did
what?
not just say that about my game. You did not. No,
You know
I'm
what?
not
Who
going
do
to
you
say
think
that. I'm
you
going to be
are?
like, well, okay, I understand, It's like people in the NeoGAF thread. I don't know if you saw where they're just going crazy about, like Tomb Raider, the new Tomb Raider. Some people absolutely hate it and that it changed the series, and some people like it. And now I'm like, I'm one of the ones that like it, enjoyed it, but I was sitting there on the thread and I was like, I understand why these people don't like it, and I kind of explained it out to them, like it's because they feel it's very automated, it's very linear, it's very much, what you start out with is what you get. I mean, it's just a very cinematic driven game, which games like Uncharted, games like The Last of Us are as well. And there's not a lot of challenge to it, not a lot of forethought. You pretty much are like not literally pushing forward the whole game, but you're just basically it's a very easy game versus something like say Dark Souls, where you're thrown in a very hard world that they don't give you any kind of clue what the hell you're supposed to do, and
That's
it
true.
harkens back to the old games like Nintendo and stuff, where you literally didn't know what the hell you were doing. You didn't have instructions to tell you what to do, and you're like, duh, I don't know. You had to figure it out, and there's a big contrast between people that like those games and people that don't. And I could see both sides of it. And I was like, yeah, this is why they don't like it. It's pretty easy to see. And the one guy's like, oh, yeah, good post. I mean, I get it. It's like, yeah, it's not that hard to understand, but people get too built up on their passion or their I got to defend this game, which, fuck me, I don't know why you got to defend a game that much. It's a $60 piece of entertainment you paid for. It's not like it's your mother's ashes or something.
Yeah, that is actually. The funny thing is that the old Tomb Raiders are still there. So it's not like it's not like this new one like renders them out of existence or something. You can still go back and play the old ones. It's kind of like Resident Evil. People that hate 4 and on because it changed the series, but it's like
let me ask you. Let me ask you, if you're looking at the gameplay of like Tomb Raider, the original Tomb Raiders, is there any game right now in this day and age that plays very similar to that?
not really. The thing is, like, I wasn't a huge classic Tomb Raider. Like the old Tomb Raiders, I think are awful. I can't play them anymore. But like the ones before the newest one. What were the ones? Or the Underworld and things like that?
Yeah.
Those like I've gone through on Steam sales and bought them for like $5, and they're actually pretty fun. But like
they are.
I don't know. Like I wasn't a huge fan of like.
Well, and those weren't even exactly like the old PlayStation ones either. They were. No. I mean, they had it. They had the.
That's why I can play them.
Yeah, they had the theme of it in there, and I'd say there's other games like Darksiders that are similar, or Zelda games, because they're they got the puzzles and you got to figure out how to progress.
Right.
I mean, I hate to say it, but with gaming having gone so mainstream, that's just not the challenge in games isn't a focus anymore for a lot of game developers because I'm not gonna lie. When I was overseas, I got Dark Souls, and a lot of people in that area, around me, employees. We played video games because there was nothing else to do out in the dirt box. Yeah. So, people would be talking, playing games, borrowing games, etc. And I was like, this game's the hardest freaking game I've played in a long time. Nuh-uh. And, one guy bet me he could beat it. And I was like, dude, I'm not trying to just, say you're not good at games. I know you love video games. I was like, you're not going to do it because you want to know why? Because I almost gave up on that game. And I was like, and if I almost gave up on that game, I know the mass majority of people I know that play games in the way you play, you're not going to do it. No, man. And, he had this pride thing going on. And so I said, okay, let's place a bet. I was like, if you beat it and I'll give you 2 weeks, I got to buy you a game, a Mass Effect 3, because it was coming out. And I was like, if you give up, you got to buy me the game. He borrowed the game. He had it for 2 days. He brought it back, said, fuck this game.
Yeah.
and he
tough.
wasn't the only
really
one.
Tough.
There was another guy that played it, didn't like it. It was too hard. Another guy played, didn't like it. It's too hard. I'm like, you just games that are super hard like that. They'll sell to a specific crowd, but they're not mass million makers like Call of Duty.
That's what concerned people whenever they saw that Dark Souls 2 is being said to be more accessible, quote unquote, right? Because it's such a small group of people that'll actually put up with the game. It's not. I like Dark Souls. I thought it was actually pretty fun, but it's brutal. It's actually really hard. And I would spend like half a day trying to get past a boss. I would get past the boss and then take another 15 steps and then hit something even harder. and I was
Mhm.
like, okay, and I haven't played it since. Sucks, but uh, I mean, it's really really daunting. That game actually scares me too, like the sewers and everything, like how
Oh
nasty
yeah.
and grimy they were. I think it's seriously like just disturbing. But I'm probably gonna pick up the sequel. Like
Oh
it's one of
yeah.
those unique experiences to me.
Yeah, no,
Although
definitely, and
it's a
you know, and
different
especially
director, I
in a
think.
sea of like copycat games and stuff. But to me, I beat that game, and this is gonna sound dumb. It's just a game, but to me, it was like that was a pride. Like that was like a trophy there. I was like, I beat this.
Well, it's not
I
something
beat
a lot of
this.
people do. I don't think a lot of people have beaten Dark Souls. I really don't. Like I don't. I think a lot of people are like, man, they play like halfway through and they go like, okay, I think I'll play through Tomb Raider again. But
Yeah,
that's the
and
funny
you know
thing.
and you know what was funny about it is the guy that was talking to me. He was like, "Man, I saw YouTube videos where guys were just running through it without any armor or nothing." I'm like, "Dude, no. Yeah, maybe the guy on YouTube did that. You're not gonna do it."
There are crazy people that do crazy stuff like that all the time in games, like speed running Zelda and all that crap. But the one thing I was going to say about Tomb Raider, I think if they, they included the tombs sort of, but the
Sort of,
problem
yes.
was they just said, "Hey, secret tomb over here," and it was like there's no challenge at all. Like you just said, I think if they had included like a classic tomb layout, like with each of the
Yes.
tombs, in
They should
addition
have called
to
it like
the
Room Raider
right, pretty much.
because
Like
it was like each area you went in was like a room.
yeah, and they even have her say at one point like I hate tombs, and I'm like that's really stupid.
I mean, like, okay, from an aesthetic point of view in the game, there's areas that are like tombs that you go through,
Yeah,
but you're
sure.
not doing like puzzle things. It wasn't until like
No.
halfway through, and then the end, there was a couple little minor puzzles.
Yeah.
They
And
weren't
I
these
think-
side optional puzzles.
I think if they had included more complex tombs, a lot less complaints would have been had.
Well,
honestly.
you also got to remember this is her first experience ever with
Yeah.
this kind of stuff. So I have a feeling that also played into it. I think they were like, well, because think about this: if I'm Joe Schmo here, which Justin, Joe Schmo, and it's like, hey, we're gonna do a story about, we're gonna do a prequel about your YouTube days. And so then they like we do a movie or a game or whatever about like back when I first started off as YouTube. Am I going to have all the experience with all my movie editing and video
Right.
editing? No, I'm gonna be
Okay.
like, duh, I don't know what I'm doing. And then next thing you know, there's critiques and reviews. They're like, he had no idea what he was doing. He didn't do what he was supposed to do. He's supposed to be able to edit movies. I mean, that's a really bad analogy there, but the point
Why
is that
she
it's her
such an
first
expert at
experience with
rating
tombs. Yeah,
when she's never
like,
done it before? It's so weird.
I mean, I was
It's-
surprised, to be honest. I was surprised it even had any kind of supernatural element in it. I was really surprised.
Yeah, I was turned off by that. I didn't like the story.
Well, that's every Tomb Raider game though. They all have something.
Yeah, I didn't like her friends either. I was hoping they would die, like a horror movie. Black
Yeah,
Eye
some of them
first.
did.
It's like I was like, wow, how did T-Dog last so long? But that's a Walking Dead reference. I'm
But
sorry.
there's people that think that the games like these, like the new Tomb Raider and Uncharted, are going to ruin gaming, and I just think that's a bullshit stance because there's
No,
plenty of games that are out
Jericho
there that
won.
keep on being made.
Yeah, Jericho won. It's not going to ruin your life. Don't worry. It's okay. It's fine.
him and Amarox, they love to just
Oh,
go
wow.
bash games.
Emerox is fun. Every
Yeah.
single YouTube video that gets linked to on Gaff, first comment, Emerox is a fag, Emerox is gay. Every single time.
I mean, like I said, I can. It's kind of weird. When I first saw these guys, I really absolutely detested them. I'll
Yeah.
be honest. I was like, damn, just so negative, and me being the positive guy, I was like, oh god, it was like Clash of the good versus evil.
Right.
But now that I've had time, to kind of
Good
see them
versus
post,
evil.
etc. I understand why they have the reasons they have. Which to be honest, when you're a poster on a forum, if I can understand why you don't like something, if you explain it well enough to me for me to understand why you have such negative thoughts on it, well,
Right.
you've at least successfully succeeded as a poster because you didn't just put game sucks, hate it, and then just simple answer. You at least explained yourself.
And at least they're consistent. They
Yes, and that too.
They have their agendas, but they stay with them. They don't actually like flounder and kind of
Yeah.
flip flop on things.
I mean, even Amrock said he one of the times on one of the threads he said that yeah, I like seeing your reviews, etc. But I know that we totally don't agree on things. But it's good to see things from another perspective of somebody who's more positive. And it's like, yeah, So it's one of those things. It's
Just said like,
yes,
you're not such a bad guy for a dick sometimes.
yeah,
He's all right. I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know him. I like
Yeah.
talking shit about people I don't know. It's a lot
I know
of fun.
you do.
It's a
Hey,
lot
you like
of
talking
fun.
shit about people you do know.
Yeah, I do. On Twitter.
Yeah.
But that's just a persona. It's funny, like, I'll have people like following me that work in like radio or something in around Atlanta and things like that. And they don't really know that like they don't know my shtick, And
Yeah.
I'll say something to them like I say things to people, and next thing I know, I get a DM, and it's like, why did you say that? Why are you talking like that? Like, why are you so negative? Why did you say that? And I'm like there's this woman one time, and she's a sportscaster, and she worked for like the ACC network, and so now if she listens to this ever, she knows exactly who she is. But anyway, so she saw me say something to her once, and it was like just being a dick, like I do. And she messages me and she says, "Why did you say that?" And I said, "What do you mean?" She says, the boys that are going to be playing in that game on Saturday are going to read that tweet, and they're going to think that I endorse you because I follow you. And I'm like, okay, she's like, please think before you speak and delete that tweet. And I was like, well, the tweet's not being deleted, first of all. That's not happening. And then second, lighten up. Like, seriously, don't take things so seriously you read on the internet. Like, good grief. But I literally had to say, why don't you just block me? Just please do me a favor,
Do it.
Yeah. It's really not hard. I've had plenty of people block me, but like Kevin Smith, he likes to block people. He doesn't take to fat jokes very kindly, which is kind of funny. But hey. No, I saw the headline earlier said Kevin Smith stands up for YouTubers' rights or something like that, and I was like, he can still stand up? That's crazy. I can barely believe that.
That sounds like a Don Allen joke. That's just it's got your name written all over.
Oh, it sure does. But I can make fun of fat people. I used to be one.
Yeah, me too.
It's like Herman Cain can criticize black people. He used to be one. Sorry.
Yes. Speaking of the gaming thing, another big announcement, as I covered on my channel, was the new Zelda game. Boy, oh boy, are people flipping their shit about that in not exactly the best way, but I find it kind of funny because if you don't know, it's called Hyrule Warriors. It's a tentative name, and basically they're working with as a Tecmo.
Yeah, Tecmo Koei, I think.
Yeah, they're working with those guys, and they're the guys that have done the popular like Dynasty Warriors games, etc. And they are making basically a Zelda game that's pretty much in style of that, with Zelda theme, Zelda characters, enemies, bad guys, sounds, and everything. And while granted it's still very early and they only showed a brief clip, people are like, "Oh my God, you're trashing Zelda, you're ruining the franchise." And I just find this funny because, well, they already said they're not ruining it. This is a side thing, and they're still working on a regular Zelda game on the Wii U. But the funny thing I think about it is people are always harping on Nintendo to try different things, and then they give their IP basically to a different brand of game completely. Granted, it might not be everybody's favorite brand of game, but they give that brand out there, and they do something completely off the wall, and people are hating. They're hating on that too. Like, oh my God, I can't believe you do this. Why?
Yeah, I think people just wish that they would do it with a new IP. Like, they're just like, if you're just going to do something completely non-Zelda-like, just do something not called Zelda, but guess what, people? Zelda sells. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like, the name is recognizable. It's like, can you imagine if back in 1993, people went, why are you making a platformer with Donkey Kong? That's retarded. Why don't you just come up with another IP? Oh, well, Donkey Kong Country spun off into a pretty good franchise and did pretty well for itself. And now it's coming back again, and, it's a pretty recognizable name. So there's a reason they do things like this. And
yeah, well, I think it's kind of a double thing. The Warrior games sell pretty well over in the Asian country. They're a little bit more niche over here, but they even still they have a following over here. Otherwise, they wouldn't still bring them out.
Right.
And yeah, personally, as I mentioned in the video I made, I said, I like the Dynasty Warriors games some of them, and I've enjoyed them, and I've dabbled in them, and I enjoy them for what they are. But I've never really felt compelled to beat them because I've never really liked the theme. Like, I'm not a big thing on the Dynasty Warriors. I never was a big One Piece fan. I didn't really care for Fist of the North Star. It's like I never really had a theme to these kind of games that just compelled me enough to play it. But I'll tell you what, Zelda's going to compel me to beat that game just because it's Zelda stuff. And I mean, maybe that's shallow. I don't know what you'd say. It's just I like Zelda. I'm into it. So, and I think that's going to happen with a lot of people. And this kind of reminds me of a similar situation. Not exactly the same, but similar. Happened back in, what was it, let me think. When was this? 1993, maybe? Maybe
What are you talking
1994? When they released the Super Mario RPG.
Oh yeah, I think it was 95.
Yeah, and I had tried playing prior to that game. I had tried playing like Final Fantasy 2, Final Fantasy 3, and a couple other games of Final Fantasy. And I at the time and in my age, I just had a really hard grasp of actually doing like what I have to actually sit and do a menu to fight. Yeah, like I don't understand why this is boring. Like why?
Right.
And they showed like previews for that game, and I'm like, oh no, they're bringing out a Mario game, and it's a fucking role play game. What am I gonna do? I'm like, I have to play that. Well, that was my first role playing game I actually sat down and actually fucking beat, and that actually got me into role playing games. That was like my first role playing game I beat and really played, got into, and ushered me into the role playing genre. So I'm not saying that's going to do that for this game, this genre, but you never know. It could. People could play through this because it's Zelda and then be like, damn, what am I've been missing out on games like these. These are fun. They're mindless, but they're fun.
Yeah,
so
and then
it could happen.
there's 36 games already out, so you can go back and play like 2 generations worth of them.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
So
Yeah,
it's funny to me, too, how foreign people are of the Dynasty Warriors series. Like, a lot... Either people don't like it, or they just don't know what it is. Like, what?
It's the Ratchet and Clank of the West, of the East, I mean, sorry. Because Ratchet and Clank is like 16 games now or something. It's crazy.
Yeah,
although they're all pretty good. They're all kind of good to really good. It's kind of weird. I don't know. I haven't played like the spin-off ones in recent years, but Crack in Time was fantastic.
Yeah, and I have the new one, the Nexus, Into the Nexus, and I heard that was really good.
That's good. I wish they'd stuck with the original title of that, by the way. It was originally called Into the Nether Regions. Because they actually go into the Nether Regions in the game, but they changed the name. They wanted to be
Was that really what it was going to be called?
It was, yeah. And then they changed it to be more family friendly. No more double entendres, guys.
No more.
We are for the children now. Speaking of for the children, I watched a Christmas movie last night. Did you see me tweet about it?
No, I didn't. I must. Oh, wait, no. Yes, I did. Jingle All the Way.
Oh yeah, there you go. It's on Netflix.
That's a great movie.
It's fun. It's really, really bad, but it's fun.
Yeah. it's like it's a bad fun.
It's Sinbad's finest role. Man.
My favorite part by far was the where he jokes about the with the bomb.
Jamie, get up here, Jamie. I choose you. Turbo Man chooses you. It's like nobody knows it's him. I'm like, it's your fucking dad. He has the weird German Austrian accents. The only person in town with the gap teeth like that, that's in that kind of shape, and he knows my name. Yeah, guess why? Jamie, get up here. Come here, Jamie.
I was watching it. I still didn't know it was him.
I know. Yeah, right. Like, oh my gosh, isn't that Mr. Freeze? Like, oh, wow. Yeah, I think it is.
The part where Sinbad threatens with a bomb and he's kidding. He pulls the package out of his post office bag and he's like, "It's a bomb. It's gonna go. It's gonna go." And he freaks everybody out. And he gets away. And there's a shot of him outside the building, and all of a sudden you hear this boom.
Yeah.
And all he does is looks up, and he's like, "Man, there's some sick people in this world."
And then he's like, "That really was a bomb, man." Yeah, no, I like how the officer that had the bomb go off in his hands is at the parade later in the day, still in
Yeah.
uniform, like still on duty.
It
He
was
just
like
has
a party
bandaged
bomb.
hands. Yeah, pretty much. I guess it's just like some people were just like mailing smoke bombs through the mail or something. Oh, this was gonna be hilarious. We'll just singe the hands of an old cop or something. But yeah, that movie's pretty bad. And then but it's on Netflix if you guys want to check it out for Christmas. It's very bad. And the other thing, I saw The Hobbit, the new one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Is it worth the hype?
it's pretty good. I liked it. It's not worth the. I think I paid like $15 to see it in the
Yeah, I saw that tweet.
high
No
frame
movie-
rate.
No single
3D.
movie's worth $16.50.
No, it's not. It's really not worth that. But the high frame rate 3D, I missed the high frame rate last year, the 48 frame per second movie. And I don't know, like it's not ever going to be seen without 3D, but with 3D, it makes 3D like so much better to me because it gets rid of like all the ghosting. There's absolutely no ghosting at all, and it looks super smooth and like really nice, and so for me anyway, like I'm all about frame rates anyway, but yeah, it definitely improved the 3D experience. Although I'm not really like into 3D for like movies that don't really benefit from it, so I think it's a gimmick, obviously.
Okay.
It's like $13 for a ticket just to see a crappy post-converted 3D movie. Don't even get me started.
I know, and now you can like wait till the movie comes out, buy it on Blu-ray, and you get the Blu-ray version, the DVD version, and the ultraviolet version usually. Ta-da!
You can. They actually had this thing. You can upgrade to what they call a super ticket, and it's like you get a digital copy of the new Hobbit whenever it's available before everybody else. And you also get a digital copy of the original Hobbit, like in HD. And I think it was like $20 more or something like that. And they're trying. I've always wondered like why they didn't ever have the idea come through their heads of like a video store at the exit of the theater. You know what I mean? And like if you like the movie, you can buy the home copy of it right there. Like just but they never even like considered that, I guess. Now it's a lot easier because you just do it on your phone like right as you're walking out of the theater. Like, oh my gosh, I could stream it to my iPhone. Like, totally enjoy this at the restaurant we're gonna eat at now. Like, the hell.
It's just like shut up.
Don't watch movies and drive. By the way, my roommate got a head unit with like a screen on it, and it plays DVDs. And I was like, no, you don't need that. That's a bad idea. But
it is. That's a very bad idea.
It's a terrible idea. But hey, whatever works.
I was watching Death Rally, and I just couldn't help myself but just go off roading.
Nope. That was what I had to do. So anyway, I think it's about time for this. So tell me something, Justin. What did we learn tonight?
I learned that I forgot about some of the parts of the room, and I laugh like an old geezer.
Right. Yeah. Everybody's gonna like that.
Yeah.
It's gonna make for a good episode, though. I think it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun to listen to when I'm drunk later and needing some entertainment.
That guy sounds like a moron.
And I'll be able to look back on this fondly and realize that when I rewatched The Room, I didn't waste my time. I actually got something out of it. And I bet most people can't say that. Most people really just waste their time and wish they hadn't.
Yeah, who else has a podcast where they're going to talk about it?
Oh yeah, exactly. And they can use gold like...
Don't touch me, motherfucker. Get out. Don't touch me, motherfucker. Get out.
Oh man. Yep.
Chicken, Peter, you just a little chicken. Chip, 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 chip,
I don't know if it's fun. I think it's actually funnier not being able to see it.
Yeah, it probably is. This is a better one, by the way. This is the
Get
better
out of my
one.
house. I kill you. I bring him in full body.
You bastard!
I kill you, you bastard.
I kill you.
You'll kill me if you tried.
You betrayed me. You're not good. You're just a chicken. Chip, 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 chip. Get out.
I can't believe he threw that in there at the end.
Oh
there.
man. Anyway,
Yeah.
I think that about does it for tonight. I'm all
Awesome.
laughed at. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Thank you guys.
Yep. Thanks for listening, and God bless everyone.
Mm.